Hey, CFL fans, a massive, massive week 16 for our BC Lions, where we defeated the Calgary Stampeders 52-23, where the Lions scored early and scored often. And wow, what a performance. My key thoughts were the offensive playmakers for the Lions came to play. Rourke, Hatcher, McInnes drove the bus early, got that confidence, and got the whole team going. Roland, what do you think? Well, I guess I'm not the regular
Hey,
introduction guy.
no
So
worries.
Greg's always Greg's the starting quarterback. I'm this backup. So, but yeah,
No worries. You still got a good drive there. No.
I
So,
got some little audio feedback from the live stream. So I was listening to myself with a 3 second delay. It was kind of awkward. All right,
okay.
yeah, but Roland, what do you think? Massive performance, big the big three playmakers on the Lions offense came to play.
Yes.
What's your key thoughts?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, no, no, good summary. But before I do that, let me just welcome those online joining us. As usual, please type in the chat and let us know your thoughts, and we'll be able to banter with you. Daniel says, "Hey guys, hey Daniel, welcome. Nice to have
Daniel.
you with us tonight." Um, So my thoughts, yeah, wow, what a performance. It was totally unexpected. Even though I chose the BC Lions to win in my predictions last week, that was more of a gut feel as opposed to a head thing. But but man, they showed up. Rourke played, I think, one of his best games, if not his best game ever. As
Mm-hmm.
Arthur said, our playmakers showed up, and our defense rose up to the occasion. I mean, I would have never expected our defense. I mean, that's what we've been calling for all year. It's not a perfect game from a defense, but they did enough on the defense to just stymie VA. VA was off of his game, so that's what we needed, and that was my key to the game last week, right? And before the game is that if we can get into VA's head, we've seen VA enough last year that we know that if he gets off of his game, it's hard for him to get back, and we did with the two interceptions early on. So anyway, lots of things to talk about tonight. Again, if you're joining us online, let us know your thoughts via the chat. We'd love to hear from you and let us know. So um, I thought we'll start off with some team stats. So we'll just kind of paint the picture of how the game went, and then at any point, whether you're online or Arthur just said just chime in,
Mm-hmm.
and we can go from there. Okay. Oh, so Wayne says good evening. Hey, good evening, Wayne.
Hey, Wayne.
All right. So let's take a look at some stats. I'm just going to go through some of the high level stats. We won't go through every single one of them. Captain Buttership says, love the effort from both sides of the ball. It's unfortunate that we missed the first bit of the first quarter. Come on, TS. Oh, I don't know what happened.
You
Maybe.
needed to go to TSN two. So
Oh,
it was the
yes.
prior game was going on a little long, and then yeah, they didn't switch TSN one or ever the main channel until
Yeah.
after that first game was done.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, go watch the replay if you missed part of the first quarter. That was the exciting part of the game. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at some quick stats here. All right. So net offense 527 versus 324. So we totally dominated Calgary, as you can see here. Sacks, we got 2 sacks for 12 yards. Both of those courtesy of Mr. Betts, my favorite defensive lineman. Um, Look at the second down percentages, 64% on second down conversions versus 47 for for the Stamps. And then this is one big one, fumbles and giveaways. We got zero, so zero turnovers. That's key, right? We've been losing games because of turnovers. Daniel says,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah. Daniel says, I was glad the Lions had a big lead in the first half, but I was still worried the Lions would relax. But they put their foot down big time and gave Calgary no momentum. Yeah, absolutely. At, I was feeling exactly the same way. At halftime, I tweeted out, "We got pedal to the metal. We can't let up."
Well, just to follow up on that, right? Like Calgary had the first possession in the second half. They drove the field. They drove the field a little. Then VA got hurt, right?
Yes,
And then they somehow got on the 2 yard line, right? Just running, just
yes,
chipping it. High percentage plays. They punched it in to make it a
yeah,
14-point game. So I was like, that's like a half to go. Mind you, I wasn't as worried because VA was knocked out of the
yeah.
game,
It was that. Yeah,
right? I wasn't as worried, but still, it's the Lions. And there's a
yeah,
half of a football left, right? Half of a
yes,
game. But they got the next possession and he marched downfield and scored a touchdown.
yeah,
Then you're like, okay. Then it was pretty relaxed. Then the
yeah.
party was on.
Yeah, it just shows you how even though we love the Lions, our confidence level, especially for the defense, is still kind of was still wavering at that point.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
the defense could still
Yeah.
let up. Right? But for this game, we showed that we had a killer instinct, which is what we really wanted. Right? We need to seal the win.
I was getting
Uh,
worried because we lost Bulio,
yes,
right? We lost Bulio early. And then so I was like, and then you got TJ kind of first game back there.
yeah, a little bit
So
off. Yeah,
and then I think Rene was the backup safety, but then he took that late hit on a punt return. He took that late
yeah,
hit penalty. So I think that he got benched. So they went to I think it was Finley was playing safety
yes. And he
and
was the one
and
who made the tackle on Adams then,
yeah.
where he got hurt too.
Hmm.
Yeah. Wayne says, great game by the Lions from offense, defense, and special teams. I was surprised by the defensive play. Great. Yeah, so
Oh
was
yeah.
I. But, pleasantly, of course, because that was a huge, um, and, huge, like, so for those of you that missed part of the first quarter, the first two drives of VA was intercepted. His two of his first three passes was interceptions. First by Bolio and second by Awe. I mean, that's one way to really suck the confidence out of VA, right? And that I think caused him to start forcing things because we were getting touchdowns on our drives, the first two drives. Actually, yeah, first two drives were touchdowns, and VA's was interceptions.
Hmm.
Oh, Wayne's asking, so did Greg take the night off?
Well, he did pick the Stamps to win, so he
He couldn't face us.
couldn't pay. Bro Greg is on a ferry, so he's gonna join us in the text chat. And but yeah, just couldn't get just couldn't get a really good signal to work.
Yeah, he was very excited about the win. Daniel says Lions played like a championship team. First time in a long time. They have to keep this up for the rest of the season. Absolutely. Oh, here's Greg. He says, hello to my bros and our viewers from aboard one of our lovely BC ferries. All right, let's
Yeah.
show just a few more stats.
Yep.
This is Nathan Rourke stats, right? 331 yards, passing two touchdown passes, both of them to McInnes. But then the rushing as well, 6 carries for 43 yards. The longest one being a 26-yarder touchdown. And then I
Three
think the other,
touchdowns rolling. Ooh.
yeah,
On
three
the
touchdowns.
ground.
Well, one of them was from the 1 yard line. The other one was
Yeah.
from a 3 yard line that he
Yep.
bootlegged to the left. But an unknown star here is Xander Horvath. 12 carries for 152 yards. I was so worried without Butler in the game that our running game was going to be impacted, but Horvath just filled that in, and with a 70-yarder touchdown. That was a beautiful play. So the offense, as Arthur said earlier, our playmakers played, showed up, and our backups showed up as well. Here are the receivers. Every single receiver got a reception, except for Horvath. He dropped that one. but yeah, Keon Hatcher 100%, 8 for 8 for 147 yards. He was the workhorse for the whole game. Wayne says, so Greg, are you coming over to Victoria or heading back to Vancouver? I'm here in Victoria. And then McInnes, 5 for 6, 88 yards. Barry Hill, again, 100%, just 2 for 2, but one of them was a 61-yarder, one-handed catch. That was beautiful. And Poissant filled in admirably for Cotoy, 3 for 3. Even Pickett got 1 for 1. Eberhardt was, I think, the only kind of little dark spot. He dropped two balls that was passed to him. So only one out of 3. Okay, it's a bit small to see, but I just wanted to highlight on the defensive side a couple of things. So 2 sacks by Matthew Betts. So he's now the sack leader in the CFL. Interceptions, we got 2 key ones. Mika Awe, the second interception. The first one was Christophe Bolio. Gary Peters has an interception here. He did an interception of a 2-point convert, but earlier on he could have had a pick 6, but he dropped a sure interception. That would have been a pick 6 had he caught that one.
And there's another one where it skimmed the field goal post.
Yes, that's right.
And then comes a dead ball, but that was wow.
Yeah. So defense really not just showed up, but was aggressive enough to do takeaways. They were. I'm sure they were focused on getting takeaways. So yeah, wonderful. Okay. Daniel has so he says, I bet you, Greg, could not believe what happened on Friday, but I think a lot of fans were shocked. Yes, me included. I was very shocked. I wanted to show you the drives, just how our offense was so dominant, right? So our first drive was a touchdown. So that was great, right? Because you had a whole week to prep for this. Usually the first drive you prep for that. So it's in your mind, and you can, if you execute, then you score. So we got the first touchdown. Second drive, that was off of an interception. Second drive, we ended up with a punt. So at this point, I thought, we need to capitalize on the turnover. But we ended off with a punt, and Calgary gets the ball back. Another interception. This is now Awe's interception. And then on our third drive, we got a TD. So there, I started feeling good. Okay, we were able to capitalize on the turnover. And then our next 2 drives were touchdowns as well. So at this point, we're in the beginning of the second quarter. We got 2 punts, and then another, and then the half. So at the half, we had 4 touchdowns. At the half, I was concerned, as I said earlier, were we going to let up under pressure? But we didn't. In the third quarter, we got a touchdown and a field goal, and then the fourth quarter, 2 more touchdowns. So very productive offense for BC. Compared to Calgary, Calgary's offense was struggling. So 2 interceptions, a punt, a field goal, another 2 punts, and then a field goal, and then a half. So by the half, they hadn't had a touchdown. Greg says, Wayne was at a retreat on Main Island and heading home. And then after the half, the first drive of the third quarter, that was the drive that VA got hurt. And so we saw Walker come in, and he was able to finish the drive up to the 1-yard line, and then Vaughn had the QB sneak. And then the next drive, they had a turnover on downs, but at this point they were way behind. It was 3-down game for them, so it was a turnover. Then they had a touchdown, a field goal, and then punt. So that was
Mhm.
the high level picture of the game. So, question for Arthur: do you think we can maintain this? Is this a one-off, or have we turned the corner?
Well, I think you need. I guess we will see next week, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I got to look for something that's changed, and obviously TJ Lee coming back,
yeah,
an inspirational leader who can cover. Now, I don't know if he's still rusty, but with him there, they can play a bit more complicated defense. Because remember,
yeah,
they were trying to do a more complicated coverage. They weren't assignments were being missed, right?
yeah.
And
This was the
assignments are
week
being
before,
blown.
right? Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah,
and then they try to simplify, but then I think sometimes you simplify too much, other teams can scheme against you.
yes,
So if you got TJ back there, and then Peters is healthy, then you can maybe do some things a little bit more complicated. Now, I'll let you know about that Awe interception.
okay,
So I was watching the replays again, and I saw Dante Williams like sprint back, like he was, because he's the Sam linebacker. He
yeah,
sprinted back into the middle to kind of be like kind of looked like a cover three scenario.
okay,
Okay, so and they just flooded the deep zone, and so I think a lot of the options. So you saw Deontay Williams just sprint back,
yeah,
and then you saw Alway kind of loop back, baited, and then Philpott was kind of doing that kind of a crossing pattern.
yeah,
In past games, that's the zone where guys are getting wide open,
yeah,
right? Like the Hamilton game where that's like Keandre Smith would be wide open in that middle zone, like 10, 8, 10, 12 yards downfield. VA
yes,
got sucked in. Oh, we cut him off, right? So they kind of baited VA a little. They took away the deep, and he looked for his hot. Credit to the defensive line for getting some
yes,
pressure on him,
yes,
and
absolutely.
he just took that relief valve, and the Lions were just sitting on it.
Yeah,
So I think they can put. I mean, hey, they can't get the defense could not get much worse than it was. I mean, it was not
yes,
good, right?
yeah,
So I think that if the D line can pick it up a bit, then yeah, I think definitely the defense can improve. I mean, it was like the second or worst defense in the league. So, for sure it can. Now, if the Lions offense gets a little bit more consistency and plays complementary football,
yeah,
then it really helps out the D, right?
exactly.
Because they don't feel like, oh no, if the offense is struggling, we're gonna have to do something, right? So definitely, it's a it's promising to get a road win. Now they need to follow it up.
Yes,
Toronto on Friday, and then Calgary on Saturday. The next two games at home. You come away with two wins. You're in the driver's seat for second place in the West.
yes,
You have renewed confidence, and don't forget, like I think I was saying before, new coaches, they just need some time. A lot of young players in the secondary, they need time.
yes,
Hopefully, this is it. Again, probably my
yeah.
orange colored glasses on to say I think they can get better. Now, is it good enough to beat Saskatchewan? That's a tall order. But again,
Yeah,
let's just improve play and defense, get in the
yeah,
playoffs,
that's right.
maybe even
One game at
host
a
a game.
time.
I mean, it's still
Yeah,
tough, right? We still need Calgary to lose another game, and then we win the next game against Calgary.
yeah,
But yeah. What do you think, Roland?
yeah. One game at a time. Yeah, I'll give you my thoughts, but let me read a few more comments. There's quite a few that's come in.
Yeah.
So Cyril Fan says, a good game for Nathan's confidence going forward. Absolutely, yes. Gotta feel great to play so well and to have the defense dominate VA like a dog. Silences any doubters who say the Lions made the wrong choice. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We've been saying from the very beginning this was the right choice. I, I,
Mhm.
I think there was a little bit of it too as well that a lot of our players knew VA's tendencies. right?
Mhm.
So some of these players were playing, practicing with VA all year last year. So that was it was a really tough game for VA. Wayne says, I haven't heard how VA is doing. I hope he's not out too long. Yeah, I hope so too. We need our top QBs healthy. Um, so Siri says I hope VA is okay. Um, the Lions can't get too high on this win. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
It's just one game. We got to focus on the next game. Um, yeah, Greg says, they said it was ribs. That's what Dave Dickinson says. But it sure looked like he was a bit woozy when he
Mhm.
tried to get up from that hit. So I just hope they take care of him and not force him back too quickly. Because this was a very costly game for Calgary. I feel they lost QB1, they lost QB2. They had to go with QB3, who had very little experience. He's never passed in the CFL, right? Never had. Um,
Mhm.
so I think they're promoting someone from their practice roster now. So so again, I love VA. I don't want him to be hurt, but if he's out for a few games, I think second place is wide open for us if we can focus on winning.
But
Um,
Roland, I was telling you he's got a slide there.
yeah,
He's got
but you
a
see,
slide fee for like he was trying to get in. Maybe he didn't see Finley coming, but then
he saw
he
him.
saw him. Then he went down head first.
Yeah,
If you slid, then you give Finley the opportunity to jump over you,
yeah,
right? Because if
but
you
but
go head first, he has to make contact. I
yeah,
mean, right? Because
but
you might just
yeah,
like you might just keep running, right? If you slide,
yeah.
you give yourself up. And he
But you
already made his
see,
first down.
yeah, absolutely. But you see, we know VA is a fighter, right? When at that point when they were down so much, he wanted to take the team on his shoulders and to lead by example. And we know that, right? That's why he's such a great leader. But um, so you can't. It's hard to change gears from that fighter mentality to I need to protect myself, right? So
Gotta be
I
you gotta play
understand.
hard, but I know you gotta play smart. But I hear you. You gotta play
Yeah,
hard, and he plays hard.
yeah,
You gotta play smart. I mean, you gotta slide. I mean,
yeah. That definitely he needs to.
he
So
got he got hit by which team? Oh, it was Montreal, right?
yeah,
Montreal had knocked him out, and same kind of deal. Like he kind
yeah,
of hesitated whether he's in a slide, and then he just went down head first, and he got hit. So
yeah. So Wayne says, believe it or not, I'd love to see the Lions come to Mosaic for the final this year. It might happen, right? If VA is out for any significant time. Uh, uh, but then Wayne's going to be cheering for the Riders at that point.
yeah, yeah.
So, all right, no worries, Wayne. If that happens, we'll still we'll
We'll
still
take
we'll
it.
still.
We'll take it. At this point, we'll
Yes,
take it, right, Roland?
that's right. We'll take it. In case you don't know, I'm not a fan of the Stamps. Neither is Greg. What do you guys think this big announcement? Okay, before we talk about that, let me just respond to what Arthur was asking earlier. Yeah, yeah,
Can the defense
absolutely.
keep it up, right?
I think this was a huge morale boost for the defense. It shows them what they're capable of, right? So the D line, especially, that's a huge morale boost. Matthew Bent's a huge morale boost for him, getting another 2 sacks, and I think it's going to fire up the whole defense. With
Mhm.
the addition of this new guy Levi Bell, I think it helps a lot. So with the D line improved, that helps the backfield now. As what Arthur said, lots of young guys, and they need to experience what it is to to play at a high performance and to win, right?
Mhm.
So they experience that. So it's I don't think it's a given yet. It could potentially be a turning point for the season, but they showed and Farhan said that for most of the plays, it was just vanilla zone defense. They played very little man to man, and we were being picked apart, like Arthur said in the past, right? With
Mhm.
zone defense, but for them to be able to be successful with zone, I think it's a huge morale boost. So I'm cautiously optimistic, but I think If we can win against Toronto next week and start racking up these wins, and then with Calgary 2 weeks from now, if VA is out, I think it's going to be a good game for us. If VA comes back, then it's going to be a tough game. But if we can win the next 2 games, I think that'll give us that momentum. All right, Daniel says, "What do you think this big announcement is tomorrow?" Arthur, I have no idea. I have no idea what it is. So some of the TSN announcers seem to kind of hint that they have an inside scoop, but they're not talking about it. So
I mean, it must be something with the broadcaster, right? It must be something with TSN, broadcaster. I think they're gonna probably. There's something in that realm. I don't think it's gonna be another team.
yeah, none of this.
It won't be a change of ownership. It won't be a change of the commissioner, right?
Yes, yes,
They're not gonna like take over like some U.S. football league, right? Some
yeah,
like they're not.
yeah,
So I can't. I mean, I just can't see it being anything else other than some broadcast partner
yeah,
extension or something like that.
yeah. That seems to be the most likely from my point of view too. Lots of
Hmm.
lots of chatter on Twitter about rule changes, but I don't think you're not going to announce a rule change in the middle of a season. So
Yeah,
that
I mean
that
that's an
doesn't
off
make
season
sense.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So So yeah, maybe it's a broadcaster. Hopefully, it'll be something good that's very positive for the league. It sounds like they're positioning it to be a big announcement. So hopefully, it's going to be a very positive news from a
Well, maybe they'll
marketing.
get rid of the missed field goal for a point rule.
I don't think that'll happen. I
Maybe
don't think that'll
they'll
happen.
ex- they'll
Yeah,
change the ratio. Things that I want changed. No, it won't. They were not going to make
yeah,
any of those kind of changes. Yeah.
yeah. Lots of chatter about that. Danielle says, yeah, something about the rule change. That's what a lot of chatter on Twitter. But it's hard to imagine to announce a rule change in the middle of the season.
To take an
Like
effect for next year.
next
It
season,
wouldn't take
yeah,
an unless they're going to do something radical like okay, we're seeing too many quarterbacks go down, so we're going to make a rule change on the fly.
yeah.
I
But then,
mean,
that's not a huge announcement, right? So
yeah,
it's just,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. All right. So let's read a few more comments. Greg says, has this D turned a corner with the addition of those two vet DBs and Lee and Bridges? Bridges needs to learn system and communication, I would think. Lee was a little bit rusty, I thought, in this game. He got beat. Um, but if he's able to get back to form, then he should be a great addition. Uh, Wayne says, I think the defense looked good, but time will tell if they continue to play well.
Yeah.
Surrey Leos fans, 12.7 yards per carry for Horvath, the most promising development of the game. In order to win in playoffs, you need to play gritty football and run the damn ball. Yes. I don't know if Butler is going to be back. I hope he's all healed up.
Well,
But
if Horvath can do that and his fresh legs,
exactly,
maybe you allow Butler to have another week to rest, right?
that's right. Yeah.
I mean, I would love it if both those guys are on the roster at the same time,
Yeah.
and you
There were a couple.
can spell each other, right?
That's right. There was a couple plays where they lined up Pearson, Pearson and Horvath in
Yeah.
the backfield, and then Pearson was the lead block for
Hmm.
Horvath. That was that was pretty cool. Pearson's playing different positions in this team. He must be loving it. But yeah,
Oh yeah,
imagine if both
he
Horvath
can
and Butler
smoke a
were
linebacker really good, right?
yes. But yeah, imagine if both Horvath and Butler were in. You can devise some really cool plays there, right? And lots of
Hmm.
misdirection.
Well, that
Um,
and you can just keep them fresh, like when then just maybe it just like that extra burst of energy they can hit
yes,
that they can just escape out of that hole if you can kind of
yeah,
rotate them.
yeah, that's right. Wayne says the running back Horvath surprised me as well. He played very well for a player I'd never seen. Yeah, and for a big guy, he runs fast. That 70-yard touchdown, rushing touchdown,
Hmm.
they couldn't catch him. So
For
that
the
was
from someone that size, yeah,
yeah,
he's an American, I believe.
yes. He is, yeah. All right. Okay, so you were responding to Wayne, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I
he's
knew.
American.
I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah. All right. It says, particularly if Rourke opts for hurry up, please. Oh, please.
Plays.
Yeah, yeah. With hurry up, please. That's right. Yeah, with both Horvath and or Butler. That'd be yeah. That I want to talk about hurry up. So there was we were um, it was we were on the 3 yard line. That was and 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 uh, Rourke wanted to do a hurry up play to do a quarterback sneak on the 3 yard line, but he was stopped by the ref. The ref blew it because I guess the refs weren't ready yet, and and so and Rourke had to get the play off, and so they were stopped, right? So so now the defense had a chance to see what was happening. They lost the element of surprise, and then when they snapped the ball, Rourke still bootlegged it out on the left side, and they couldn't
Hmm.
catch him. So that to me is the Buck Pierce type of mentality where you know what we're gonna do, but we're still gonna ram it down your throat anyway, and we're
Hmm.
still gonna execute, right? Because without the element of surprise, now they knew that they're gonna try to do a 3 yard sneak, right? And and they still did it. So that was beautiful to me. Q-Man says Bridges was run out of town in Winnipeg. He is deep on depth chart.
Yeah, I don't think it was on the roster on Friday. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Q-Man says Horvath is American. So so yeah, that was I think that was Nathan's best game if I were to
Hmm.
choose, even including the time when he was here the first time around. Um, yeah, I, and the O line did really well too in terms of protecting him.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
Woodruff had to switch from guard to left tackle, and then we had a new guy come in for the guard. But that side of the offensive line seemed solid. So I was a little bit nervous when Woodruff was laying down on the field early on in the first quarter. I thought,
Hmm.
oh no, if he's hurt, what are we gonna do? But he made it back into the game and he was solid for the rest of the game.
I mean, like, really kudos to the offensive line because you're missing Broxton and you're missing Dejon Allen, right?
Yes,
You're probably your best two offensive linemen both out, both tackles. So they rose to the occasion.
yeah,
Yes, you could say Calgary was out without flow, but they had Hutchins back. Hicks is there. Um, but yeah, hats off to the offensive line.
yeah, yeah. That was a big win. They're
Hmm.
almost always the unsung heroes, right? But in this
Hmm.
game, they allowed Rourke to play the way he did. And there was one clip I have where they were celebrating with Rourke on one of Rourke's touchdowns. That was
Hmm.
just wonderful because they deserve as much credit for that drive and that touchdown. Surrey Leo fans, are you guys worried about playing Toronto? Last time we played them, they made us look like a pathetic football team. Not sure I've ever seen Greg so mad in a video. Well, okay, Toronto, who's going to be their quarterback next week? We don't know.
I think
I don't think.
Arbuckle's out 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes,
So I think last week was week one. So
yes.
Chad Kelly.
Well, Chad Kelly tweeted that he tried to hint that he was going to be back for the Edmonton game, and he wasn't. So he definitely wants to play, but the coaches are holding him back for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Um, so are we going to see Chad Kelly? And it may be too late for him to come into like to make a difference uh, this season. I don't know, but if it's not Chad Kelly, then it'll be Doge, right? Doge.
Dogi or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean Kelly, I mean Zung is I mean right now Otto's losing, right? I mean Toronto has to worry about the crossover team coming over, right? from the West.
Yes.
So they need wins, but as long as they can kind of get in, they're just like Kelly just needs a couple of games and then he'll be probably ready to go, right?
Yeah.
Um so to answer the question, am I worried about Toronto receivers are really good. They got Polk out of the NFL.
Yeah.
Coxey's back and Herschlow is making big plays, right? So they got really good receivers, guys that can beat you deep, guys that can get open on man, big play, big time, big play receivers. So
Yes.
the weakness on the Lions is the secondary still.
Yeah.
So as long as we can get pressure on the quarterback and we can stop the run, get pressure on the quarterback, we can set up in our deep zone. I think a zone defense works if you have experienced people in that zone that can disguise it and you got to change it up. Like if you
Yes.
run a standard zone, the same zone all the time, you're going to get picked apart. So you're going to
Yeah.
need that's probably why they're getting experienced DBs now. So they can try to like hide it or change it up a little, have different wrinkles. Because if you know where the seam's always going to be, you're always going to know you can't cover the whole field, right? So, um, yeah, I think Toronto definitely has our number. So, it's a big game.
Yeah. It is a big game. Let's read a few comments here. So, uh, Q-Man says we will lay a massive egg versus Toronto if this season goes like it is. So Q-Man still not sure that last week's game
Wait,
was
last time it was on the road and it was
yeah,
an early start, right? So this time it's a Friday night game, 7 p.m. Pacific. So
yeah,
it's a better, it just sets up better for the Lions versus like, I think it was a 12, 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. start Pacific on a Saturday in Toronto.
yeah,
So tougher for the Lions for sure.
yeah. Um, Daniel says if we beat Toronto, that Calgary game is huge. I heard they already
Yep.
opened up the upper deck. Yeah, yeah. Um, Todd says interested in the Lions defense. They had fun finally this season. Yes, they had a lot of fun. They're probably happy and excited to play Friday night. We'll be fine. Okay, so Todd thinks that the momentum from last week's game is going to really help. I think so too. A lot of it, a lot of it with their defense was just believing that they have the ability to do it. They have the ability to perform at that level. And
Hmm.
against VA, they showed that they could, right? So I'm optimistic for this Toronto game. All right, it's 5:08. Let's should we look at how um, okay, I have this slide here.
How
How
we
the
did.
playoff picture
Oh, how the play
looks,
picture. Okay, here we are.
yeah, for the Western Division. All right, so Saskatchewan's still sitting up top. I don't think anyone can catch them. So I think that's a
No,
given.
I mean,
that's that's a given. Um, we have a chance of so right now where it stands, we're tied with Winnipeg for third, and they have the season series against us.
yep.
But the way Winnipeg is playing now, I think we can overtake them. All we need is one more win against them. So they're playing next week Hamilton, and then a bye, and then Edmonton, Saskatchewan, Montreal. So so we just need to have one more win than they do. So uh, I think I think they're going to lose to Hamilton next week. Um, Let me just read one comment from Wayne. I agree with most of the pundits that Nathan Rourke is the best QB in the CFL. I think so too. I
Oh
think
yeah.
I think we're seeing signs of that. And if he continues playing at this level, I think yeah, I think there will be no doubters left. So if Winnipeg loses to Hamilton next week and we win the Toronto game, then we're ahead of Winnipeg. So we're now then battling for second with Calgary. The week after, with Calgary visiting, that's going to be a key game because um, uh, in order for us to catch up to Calgary, uh, we need to again win one more game. Then now Calgary has five more games left, and we have four. So we need to win two games more than Calgary from here onwards.
Mm, well, it's really more okay. So they have a game in hand, right? They have to lose that game in
Yes,
hand. Okay,
yes,
so then there'll be 8-6. If we just beat Calgary head to head,
yes.
we're above them because it will be in that scenario. Okay,
Okay.
if Calgary just
Yeah.
loses one game, like what? Because they have an extra game, right? They lose that
Yes.
game. We beat them in week 18. We will be our records will be tied
Yes.
because they would be 8-7 and we'll be 8-7, but we would have the season series on Calgary.
All right.
So
So,
yeah, I mean,
okay.
if Calgary wins out, we're not catching them, right?
All
If
right. So they
Calgary
have to lose one
beat,
game.
they have to lose one more game outside of the BC game, which we have to
Yes.
win, right?
Yes.
So looking at their schedule, they get the easy game at the end of the year,
The Edmonton
right?
game. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, they don't have a bye, which is important in this end of year because
Yeah. That's
you
right.
need the bye to rest bodies to get people back in lineup. So they had the bye the previous week, so they got some bodies back.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they picked up a couple more injuries.
Yes.
So they need you. You would kind of want the bye now,
Yeah.
but I mean, we went through the Lions went through 8 weeks of no bye in the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
and we were on fumes, and there was injuries. Not massive key injuries, but they were on fumes, and there's bumps and bruises. They're just playing through it. So Cowie's going to run the gauntlet a bit, and by the end, they're going to get a bit beaten up.
Yeah. Okay. That's quite a positive picture, right? So we need to beat them 2 weeks from now. They need to lose one more game. So I'm cheering for Hamilton. So I'm going for Hamilton to win against Winnipeg next week, and then 3 weeks from now to win against Calgary. And if that happens, we'll be second place, and then it'll be yeah, we'll host a home playoff game.
Yeah, I think
Um,
Winnipeg's got a tougher schedule too. I mean, they got four just like us, but they got
yeah,
teams motivated, very motivated. Like Hamilton's gonna be motivated. Edmonton may still be in the hunt at that point, right? Because they only
yes,
by week 19 they've only played the Riders. They may not be necessarily out of it. All depends what happens with the Bombers and the Lions in week 17. But they won't
yeah,
know that, and they get a bye, and then um, so we'll see. Hopefully they can keep in it. Hope they
yeah,
can keep in it. So they will give Winnipeg a run on week 19. That's what we need from as a Lions fan, right?
yes,
Saskatchewan is pretty much home and cooled out. I think they're gonna have. Well, hey, the Elks can beat anyone. So can the Red Blacks, but most likely it's gonna be 2 wins for Saskatchewan, and then they're gonna be home and cooled out.
yeah,
So Wayne's team's gonna be like coasting
yeah. Coasting into
into
the
the
playoffs.
playoffs. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I don't expect to see Trevor Harris on the field or maybe playing a quarter in week 20
yeah,
to week 21. I don't
yeah,
even think he'll be touching the field in week 21. Week 20, you
yeah,
might see a quarter.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
I think Saskatchewan's going to start taking because then if especially if Calgary loses the next two games, which can easily happen, then
yeah.
it's like Saskatchewan doesn't have to worry.
Well, Montreal, I don't know. The way
They
Montreal.
play better. Davis
Okay,
Alexander may be a couple of games away, but
okay,
they played better.
yeah,
But again, it's who's Calgary's QB?
yeah. That's right. Yeah, next week, if they have a new QB on the reins, I think so. If they lose that game next week, then it's really, really good for us.
Well,
Because
let me ask you this question then. If you're Dave Dickinson, okay, there's two scenarios. VA has a rib issue. That's what he said is his
yeah,
rib.
yeah,
Okay. So he gets hit, it's going to be painful.
yeah,
Like he already sat VA the prior game in Edmonton, right? With remember Roland kept on saying 4 minutes
yes,
ago, down by 12 in the CFL. Why are you sitting out VA?
yes,
Then he was ruled out for the game against BC. I mean, if it was just a concussion, he could have come back
yeah,
once they ruled him in. And I saw him running over and congratulating Nate after the game. He looked
yes,
okay. He didn't look like he was in the throes of a concussion, honestly.
yeah.
So maybe this is another Dave
Well,
Dickinson playing the long
yeah,
game. I don't know. But
yeah. Concussion's hard to pinpoint. So, but yeah, I hear you what you're saying about VA. So if there's something there, it's not 100%, then I think it's not good for him, but it's good news for us. So I think,
I don't think Dave Dickinson will play him against Montreal. They'll
yeah,
save him for BC because if Vernon, because now you lost PJ Walker
yeah,
for the year. So if you're Dave Dickinson, you're gonna say, all right, if he plays Montreal and he gets dinged up because he's maybe you give him an extra week of rest, and then you play him in the pivotal game against BC because that's the pivotal game. If
yes,
you beat BC, you pretty much got second place.
yes,
So that's the crucial game. It's not week 17, it's week 18 against BC.
yeah,
So if what you're saying is from the prior game with Calgary and then this past game with Calgary or two prior against Calgary, um, they're Dave Dickinson's looking at the long game to protect VA.
yeah,
Then he won't play week 17.
yeah, yeah. Now that makes a lot of sense. Those are all good
Just to
points.
let him heal. Like if it's ribs, that's
Yeah,
really painful. And he's gonna take some licks. Montreal's D line is pretty tough.
yeah.
So that's not a cakewalk. And they got some really Beverett and Sankey will he got injured against those guys. The prior meeting, right?
Yes.
So
All right. Okay. So let me just read some comments here. So Wayne says, "I hope not, Arthur. I want the Riders. I don't want the Riders to lose their mojo, but I get your point." So he's talking about the Riders coasting into
they're
the
gonna
playoffs.
coast. Wayne, they're gonna coast. You know they're gonna coast. And they have to
Yeah.
they have to let Harris rest. Because
Yeah.
you're not winning a Grey Cup with Jake Muir, sorry. Even though you
Yeah.
have a great defense, you have Ouellette, you're not winning a Grey Cup with
Yeah.
Jake Muir.
Well, they might. I guess they might coast a few players, but they need to maintain that intensity if they want to. You don't want to go into the playoffs where you've lost all your intensity, right?
Can't risk
So
an injury.
I know. So I think, like you said, right? Maybe play their key players in the first quarter and then give their backups meaningful reps and still, want to win, right?
Week 20 to week 21, you got nothing to gain. These
Yeah,
Winnipeg, BC, one of them is probably coming up with VA kind of, you're not sure, and
yeah,
Calgary kind of scuffling right now. BC or Winnipeg is going to face Saskatchewan. And
yeah,
if you got a free shot to take out Trevor Harris, even if it's a 15-yard roughing the passer,
yeah,
don't you think you're going to take it?
yeah, yeah. Wayne says you're
It's
correct, Arthur.
football, right? It's boys versus
Yeah,
it's boys versus boys on the field. There's a
right.
chance to hit them.
Yeah. So I mean that's good for us because then that week 21, should be a win for
Yeah.
us against Saskatchewan. So that scenario plays well for us. Daniel says we have to still beat Toronto. Not going to be easy. Yeah, that's next week.
It's not an easy game, but 7 p.m. start on a Friday in BC versus a 12 noon PST start in Toronto. I like our chances much better.
Yeah, yeah. We have a good chance, but it's not a gimme. We gotta
No, oh,
continue.
definitely no gimme. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta continue the way we played last week. PKG says they've been scoring over 30 points per game. Make it 7 games straight is unheard of. Yeah, our offense. Yeah, is and the way the announcers played it for the game, it was like the league's best offense versus the league's best defense, right? So last week's game, so Calgary having the league's best defense and our team being the league's best offense. That's how the announcers played it last week, and I'm glad that we pulled off the win. All right, so that's the road to the playoffs. Um, let's take a look at our how we did for predictions, Arthur.
Oh yeah. Greg, eat some pie, baby.
Yes. So this is how we predicted last week. So the actual score is what, 52-23?
Yep.
52-23 BC. So both Art and I predicted a BC win. That was a tentative prediction, but we were very happily surprised with the win. Um, but we both said 24 and 27, but we got 52 points. Who could have imagined? And then Calgary scored 23. With our guests, Daniel, Wayne, and Buttershirt all predicted BC wins. So kudos and congratulations to you guys. Both Nick and Joker said Calgary would win, and they got proven wrong this week. So that was how
Well,
it
Nick
looked
got the
last week.
30, almost got 32, 33 right. Just undersold the Lions by quite a bit.
Yeah,
Undersold the Lions.
yes, that's right. All right, so let's go to Arthur's segment. You want to run through your questions, I guess?
Sure. Well, Roland, who is your Canadian player of the game?
Well, okay. It'll okay. So it'll be Nathan Rourke. Nathan Rourke. That was a phenomenal game. Even if you're not a fan of the Lions, watching that game was just pure, pure genius, man.
Mm-hmm.
And honorable mention to Matthew Betts, just because he's starting to turn that defensive line around. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
not single handedly, but yeah, those are my picks.
So where's Greg? No Greg. Unsung player. What do you think, Roland? What's a good unsung hero?
Uh, I think, like I said earlier, maybe the O line.
Yeah,
The
they're
O line
unsung
was very
as
instrumental.
a whole. Yeah, because then they're
Yeah,
missing their best two guys.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. And my big picture moment, well, you mentioned it, right? Our big two playmakers picked it up this year, right? Picked up in this
yeah,
game.
yeah,
Nathan Rourke, Matthew Betts. They picked it up. And so the big picture moment of the management is last year. They both became available via the NFL. And they had to look at they knew it would just completely mess up their salary cap situation.
yeah.
And they're going to have to squander draft picks. Unfortunately, Calgary gets them all. A terrible rule, by the way. That should be changed tomorrow.
Yes.
That's
All right.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Absolutely ridiculous. But Bush League rule. But they did it because we got to get these two players. They paid through their nose with their draft picks to get these players. Overspent the salary cap, but
yeah. Pay the
both
penalties.
those players rose to the occasion, right? So um, it's tough. It's tough to give up those draft picks. Maybe the way the Lions have been drafting lately is probably not a
Doesn't
massive
matter.
loss.
Yeah,
Not a massive loss, but it was still a good move to get those players. So that's the big picture moment that I
yeah.
have.
Actually, that's a good big picture because we lose sight of that, right?
Hmm.
We People were complaining a lot, and even me, I was starting to think, was it a good move to pay Bet so much this year?
Hmm.
But if he continues playing this way, then yeah, that was a great move. Wayne says, I would say Horvath for the unsung hero. Yeah, I think he would be a great candidate for that too. All right, so those are the questions. Let's do predictions. predictions for next week at the Toronto game. And this is open to everyone who's online with us too. Please put your predictions on what the score will be for the Toronto versus BC game next week. Arthur will write it down,
I will
and
mark
then
it down. Yeah.
we'll post it out on Twitter. So we'll consolidate everyone's predictions, and then we'll post it out. And then next Sunday we'll see how well we did with our predictions.
All right. So Greg is not here. I texted him to give me a prediction. So when he comes, though I'm next. Well, I'm gonna go 32-21 BC.
32-21 BC. All right.
I got
Daniel
Daniel's
says
prediction.
42-26 for Toronto. I'm minus 38-18 for BC.
Oh, wow.
All right. Wayne
Wayne,
says 35-21 Lions.
Wayne, your scores are very similar. You're very similar, Wayne, every week.
Sorry,
Captain
Leo
Buttershirt.
fans.
And then
Oh,
Captain Buttershirt, your
yeah.
score last week and this week's very close.
Okay. See, you can't pull anything over Art. He keeps track of all. He's a data analyst. So keeps track of all the data. So you got Captain Buttershirt 35-24 BC. Surrey Leo
Surrey
fans.
Leo fan. 320. There you go, Surrey Leo fan. I mean,
B,
it's easy. It rolls off
yeah,
your
BC
tongue.
40-20. Yeah, Danielle says BC is on fire right now. I say BC 42-26.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyone else online? Let us know your predictions. We'll mark it down and we'll tweet it out. All right,
I think that's it.
that's it. So
Do you want me to say? No. You keep with what you want to say, Wayne. You're gonna get called
yes,
out, man.
yeah. Then go with your prediction.
Go with
Don't
your
let Arthur
prediction.
pressure you.
No, yeah, no pressure.
Okay, Jeanette says 38-27 for BC.
Oh man.
And then Todd says 34-17 for BC.
We got a beast. Anyone gonna go for Toronto here?
I think it's tough given how BC won the Calgary game. I mean, it's not a gimme, but I think if BC can keep rolling the way they did, they've got a bit of momentum on their side.
Yeah. I mean, Rourke looks pretty good, right? So the Lions probably have the best offense in the league. I would say if they can get their tackles back, Broxton and Allen back,
Yeah,
then I feel a lot more confident with them passing the ball. But their receivers are getting open,
yeah.
right? And Hatcher is like, do other teams try to cover him? Like he was what 8 for 8,
He was,
and he was
yeah,
like some of those passes wide open. So
yeah. He was a workhorse for that game, and yeah, he was getting hit hard, and he was getting up
mhm.
slowly, but then running back and making the next catch.
There was a couple of hits. He was a little woozy, right, Roland?
Yeah,
We remarked. He was like, "Oh, maybe he should take a little break."
yeah. And McInnes with the 2 touchdowns. So it's not just one man
Yeah.
show, right? McInnes getting
Yeah.
open, getting those touchdowns. Barry Hill, man, like
Oh, what a
I
catch.
didn't think he was gonna catch that, and then he laid out for it
Mhm.
with one hand and he got it. So and even our backups, right? Poisson, um, and if Kotoy is back, you know, and not just that, the blockings. So was it Farhan who mentioned that the receivers were blocking downfield, even if it's just getting in the way. like you see receivers getting in the way of the defenders to let their teammate, whether it's the running back Horvath or another receiver. Um, so it's clicking. So I have a lot of confidence with our offense. Daniel says Hatcher is the best receiver in the league right now.
Like, by
Yeah,
production for sure, right?
yeah,
Like guys getting open and making
yes,
tough catches and
yeah. I feel for him though that he's running up to within the 5 yard line, gets tackled because he's not the fastest receiver. So
hmm
he doesn't have that breakaway speed. So he sets it up, and that's what Rourke said in one of his interviews. Rourke says, "If you're not getting touchdowns, I'm going to get it."
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Hatcher. I mean, what a like I remarked that a couple of games ago. Like, what a like they let him. They released him. The Lions released him because he was at a
oh, in
higher
the off season,
salary.
yeah,
They released him. He was a free agent for a day. Any team could have signed him.
yes,
But then he came back to the Lions, took a lesser deal.
wow, that's hardball negotiation right there.
Yeah, I mean now,
Yeah,
but the problem is now he had a 3 year deal and would have had one more year left on this deal. Now he's gonna. I think it was just a 1 year deal.
yeah,
So Q-Man will probably correct me if it's longer than a 1 year deal. Then they're gonna negotiate with him. Being the
yeah.
league's production leader, receptions leader. We'll see if
I
it
mean,
finishes out that way.
yeah, it's good for him if that happens, right? Because
Yeah,
last
yeah.
year he didn't have a good year to negotiate with. Now he's got a good year,
hmm
and he can probably bump it back up if he negotiates well.
hmm hmm
Yeah. Todd says, fun watching Hatcher catch the ball flat-footed, facing the QB, then doing 180 straight downfield. Yeah. Daniel says, hopefully Butler is back. Yeah. Well, like I
Yeah,
think Arthur's right. If Horvath can do well, maybe let him rest up another week if he's still hurting.
because we need
Because
him. We need him in the playoff. We need a healthy, energetic Butler for the playoffs if we want any chance, right?
yeah,
So if he needs to get right, rest a little. Um, we have a bye coming up, right?
yes,
We have a bye after Toronto, then Calgary, then a bye.
yeah,
So if ideally if you can rest him until the bye, like if you can just scrape by with Horvath for another 2 games, you would give Butler a month off.
yeah. But the
Then
Calgary
he
game is
can
going to
get
be key.
right.
The Calgary game is
Yeah.
going to be key. Do we want him not dressed for that game, even if he doesn't play? If he's dressed just in case.
Well, yeah, you dress them. Then, like, problem is the Lions don't dress two American running backs, right? Then you're
Yeah,
taking someone off the field.
yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see.
The big unknown for me with Horvath is so he proves that he can run, but he didn't catch the ball the one time it was passed to him. So
hmm hmm
so that's still a little bit unsure for me. Wayne says, can the Lions afford to have both Butler and Horvath playing together in the backfield? That's what Arthur is saying too. It would be
They need
nice
the
if
help on D. They need the help on D. They need
yeah,
another American on D.
yeah,
It's hard unless one of the American receivers goes down to injury, or I mean, who do you sit? You got to sit someone on their offense, right? If you want a second American on the roster.
yeah.
So
If we
unless you make him your
say
designated American, then he has like certain snaps, which would probably be fine because you're only bringing him in on like rushing downs or something like that, right? If it's a passing down, like what Rollins says, you probably want Butler out there
yeah,
catching a check down.
yeah. All right. So um, it's 5:34.
9:34
Um,
Pacific.
oh, sorry, yeah, 5:34 my time here. I'm yeah. So I guess we'll call it a night. We'll call it a night. everyone. It was great, great catching up with you guys. Great win. Great win. It's good to celebrate, not just for the team, but also for us.
Oh,
It's a good for us to be able to celebrate.
Greg's prediction has come through.
Okay, what was Greg's prediction?
What's your prediction on his prediction? Toronto is Greg. It's hmm, he goes TO at home. It's okay. TO. His prediction is 31-21 Toronto. So Greg is a subtle killjoy right now.
All right.
No one has
So,
picked Toronto of all our viewers.
well, that's fine. That's fine. I
That's
think
good,
I think,
man.
like I said, yeah, we've got the momentum going into this game, so it's a logical choice. All right.
All
So
right.
we'll call it a night. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Have a great evening and have a great week. Um, Daniel says, "See you guys at BC Place on Friday." Yes. See you,
Yes.
Daniel. Please
You'll see
come
Greg and
see
I
us.
there at BC Place. Roland will still be
Yeah,
away, but
I won't
come
be there.
by section 246.
Two four
We'll be right
six.
there.
Wayne says, "Thanks for a good show, even with only two of the three down bros." All right. Good night, everyone. Take
Good
care
night.
and have a great week. See you next week. Okay. Go Lions.
Go Lions.